Well, hey everybody, Mike Griffith here, and want to talk to you about these college football rankings, week 1, and Tennessee being at the top and Georgia being number 3, behind the Vols and behind Ohio State. I wanted to look at the numbers, a deeper dive at maybe what those college football playoff committee members were looking at. And let's start with scoring offense. Tennessee is number 1 in the nation, Ohio State's number 2, and Georgia's number 6. To me, this is low-hanging fruit. I think if you look deeper inside the numbers, you remember back to Kirby Smart pulling Stetson Bennett after 3 quarters in the first 3 games of the year. Stetson Bennett didn't even play in the 4th quarter until the 4th game of the season. If Georgia wanted to, they could have built those numbers up like Tennessee's done with Hendon Hooker, like Ohio State's done with C.J. Stroud, the Heisman Trophy candidates. But Kirby's not about the stats. He's about the team. He's about development. Developing Carson Beck in case something happens to Stetson. He's got some quality reps as a result of that, right? So I don't think Kirby would go back and change that. You know, you look at first downs, though, and I see Georgia number 7 in the nation. I see Tennessee number 11, and I see Ohio State number 27. Now, that's an important stat, too. I mean, points matter, right? I think we'd all agree the most important thing is wins and losses. And all these teams have wins and losses. Now, how you go about that and how you manage your team, it's a matter of style. And I don't just say, well, they scored more points than this team, so they have better offense. Not necessarily. Sometimes Kirby keeps that clock running, keeps those snaps down, keeps his team fresher. It's a different philosophy than maybe the Ohio State, which likes to, light up the scoreboard like a pinball machine and use those numbers to recruit, or like Tennessee that's putting up these ridiculous numbers with Hendon Hooker as they're trying to get their program on the national recruiting map. So I think the numbers can be skewed a little bit. I look a little deeper. Which program has the most first downs this season? Well, I'll tell you, it's Georgia. They're 7th in the nation in first downs. Tennessee is 11th. Ohio State is 27th. What about third down conversion rate? What about the efficiency rate of your offense? Well, here's Georgia, number 6 in the nation. Tennessee, number 12. Ohio State, number 14. All right, well, what do you do when you're in close? Now, we've talked Georgia hasn't been the most elite when it comes to the touchdown to field goal ratio, but when it comes to cashing in on your opportunities inside your opponent's 25, 20-yard line, Georgia, number 1 in the country. Ohio State, number 2. Tennessee, number 6. So my thought is this. If I'm a member of the College Football Playoff Committee, I can look at these numbers any number of ways and come out with a desired result. And part of this is to create a little conversation. I get that. And I do understand that Tennessee does have some impressive wins. Beating Alabama, that's impressive in the regular season, albeit it was in Knoxville. It wasn't on the road in Tuscaloosa. And Alabama did squander a field goal and did mismanage the clock. But still, Tennessee won. Give the Vols credit. Tennessee also went into Baton Rouge, and I think this is the separator, and beat a really good LSU team. Not a great LSU team, but they won in Baton Rouge. That's impressive. That's the separator. You look at the schedule strength. Currently, Tennessee's 47th. I believe Georgia's 50th. I look at the, these are from the Sagarin ratings. The thing that hurts Georgia a little bit is also the things that help Georgia. I think having a weaker schedule has given this Georgia reloaded team time to develop. But then when you turn around and look at it as a resume builder, maybe not as impressive. You can't have it both ways. The scary thing for Georgia, and the reason why I think the Bulldogs have to win this game to make the college football playoffs, is Georgia doesn't have any top 25 college football playoff teams left on their schedule. It would be very difficult for Georgia to make it as a one-loss team because of that schedule. Now, things can happen. TCU could lose, Clemson could lose, Michigan or Ohio State could lose 2 games. There's scenarios out there where Georgia could make it, but I think it's more likely that Georgia has to win this game in order to make the college football playoffs.